What's going on, guys? I'm gonna hop right into this one. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while now, and the reason I haven't already is because I wanted my channel to get bigger first, but I realized I gotta talk about this and I can't wait any longer. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Andrew Fillion. If you're joining for the first time, I do natural bodybuilding. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, but the purpose of this video is to actually talk about performance enhancing drugs. So yes, I am going to advocate that you shouldn't do performance enhancing drugs, but I also want to give you guys my backstory so that you understand where I'm coming from, because I myself got this close to doing them. So give you guys my backstory, tie it in with some other problems that typically go hand in hand when it comes to PEDs, and then I can wrap it all up. So I'll just jump right into it. When I was in high school, I didn't do well with girls. It wasn't until I was about 18 years old that I even had my first kiss. It was shortly after that that I discovered, beer and liquor. And it wasn't long after that, you know what? Well, from that point forward in my life, I associated girls with alcohol. So I tried to party as much as I could. When I got to college, I saw guys that were so jacked. I had never really seen guys in real life that jacked before. And then you get to college and they're all over campus and they were the ones getting all the girls, and I'd look at them and think, I want that. I want to be that guy. So I started lifting weights. 18 years old, freshman in college, I get to the gym for the first time. And you know what? I actually made a lot of good progress in the beginning, but what I didn't realize at the time was that I actually developed body dysmorphia. I look in the mirror and I hated what I saw back. No matter how strong I got, how much progress I got, I could not unsee me being the, fat kid in high school. So you got this mixing pot of problems, right? You got can't talk to girls, doing a lot of heavy drinking, body dysmorphia. You put this all in a pot, stir it up. It's not that much of a stretch to think that around the time I'm 24 or 25, I am absolutely convinced that you cannot be aesthetic or you cannot be attractive unless you're on PEDs. I was leaving no stone unturned trying to figure out how I was gonna get them for myself. I put together a shopping list, I did the research. The only thing that held me back from getting them, I'm so glad it worked out this way, was that at the time I was living in a high-rise apartment in a very busy downtown city. Well, in this apartment we had a concierge service, so you would order mail would get delivered to the concierge desk, then you would have to go and retrieve your package. Well, even at the time, as bad as I wanted to do them, I still did not like the idea of having like Schedule 3 or Schedule C or whatever it ends up being. I did not like the idea of having these illegal drugs being shipped to my apartment. I was paranoid about things like that, and I'm so glad that I was, because I never ended up doing them. But I also never stopped looking for answers either. That's when I discovered natural bodybuilding channels here on YouTube. Channels like Jeff Nippard, channels like Vitruvian Physique, even to an extent Greg Doucette. Now, he is enhanced himself, but he advocates a natural lifestyle. So you take these channels, put them all together. I started to figure out it wasn't that I couldn't get my aesthetic goals because of, genetics or things like that. It's because I was trying to put a band-aid on a separate problem that I didn't even really realize I had at the time, which was body dysmorphia, insecurities with my dating life, insecurities with my social life. I was a mess. When I left college, I was already a heavy drinker, but when I moved into the city, things even took an even deeper turn than that, because as we all know, when you're drinking late at night, you get sleepy. Well, I met people that had solutions for that. If you could roll it up in a $20 bill, I wanted to be first in line for any of it. Didn't matter to me what it was. And that's the recipe for disaster. You're up all night, no sleep. Wake up around like noon, 1 p.m., eyes glossed over, absolutely done for. Then Monday, I'm going to my job and I'm like a gym bro during the weekdays, but then I'm this like weekend warrior chasing this hedonistic lifestyle. I was a recipe for all the things that wouldn't work, but when you're in the thick of it, you don't see these things. What I realize now is that at the time, I didn't have any mentors. And that's what I want this channel to really be about. See, I really like the weight loss aspect of it, and obviously I'm gonna keep doing that whether, you know, you're young, old, man or woman. I want to help you lose weight, but I really want to help these younger guys that might be following the same footsteps that I followed when I was in the early 20s range. Because as good as your parents are, when you turn 18 and you leave the house, you feel like you gotta carve your own way and you stop listening to your parents. They didn't raise me to be that way. I chose it willingly. I went out there, I sought it out. And I'm so fortunate that I turned out okay, that I was able to eventually progress out of that lifestyle. And it couldn't have turned out better. I now have been doing these natural bodybuilding competitions for a few years now. And the best part is I've figured out ways to achieve the physique I've always wanted. And what it really took was making the lifestyle changes. So I gotta thank the other YouTubers out there that were my virtual mentors, because honestly, without them, I don't know that I would be where I'm at right now. And I want to be that for the next generation of kids growing up. You know, if you're somebody that's struggling with these things, you're insecure about your dating life, you have body dysmorphia, if you feel like you gotta be doing PEDs, it's a permanent solution for a temporary problem, I want to talk you out of it. Because the thing about PEDs is that you only have to have one heart attack for the rest of your life to come to a complete permanent end. And I hate seeing every couple of months, I go on Instagram, I see guys that I follow. Most recent one was Joe Linder. It's crazy to me, like, 'cause I like these guys, I look up to them. I don't want them dying early, dying young. That's terrible. I don't want this happening to other guys too. You know, when your ego tells you that you can do all of these things, that you can handle it, or that you're smart enough to dose it out right. What happens when you're in a bad mental state that one day and you say, you know what? I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna do twice as much this time. You can't just turn back from that. Like I said before, one heart attack is all it takes to end your whole life. And it comes from this insecurity of trying to impress other people and trying to be liked by other people. It's possible to do naturally. And one thing I really want to emphasize, I feel like this really hammers it home. When you do performance enhancing drugs, your muscles get a lot bigger, but your organs stay the same size, especially and most importantly, the heart. Your heart is now pumping blood into muscle that wasn't part of its blueprint. You're overworking this heart, and then to compound it, a lot of times when you're doing PEDs, you mix it in with stimulants so that you have suppressed hunger, suppressed appetite, you don't want to eat as much. Now you got a double whammy. Not only are you pumping more blood into more muscle than your heart can handle, now you're telling it to beat faster. It's a recipe for oh, that was gonna rhyme. I was gonna say disaster, but I can't because it rhymes. I want to be the mentor for you guys that I didn't have when I was just getting started out and going down the wrong path. You don't need to be boozing it up. You don't have to be doing drugs. You don't need to be doing performance enhancing drugs. All of these things typically get mixed into one big pot and it becomes a recipe for disaster. I want to urge you guys to do the natural lifestyle. It's worked for me. I've been doing natural bodybuilding shows for a couple of years now. I have the physique that I want. I'm proud of my accomplishments for, like, I don't want to say the first time because I've been doing it for a couple of years, but you know, I'm doing well enough that I made a YouTube channel. Like, things are going really well for me and I want to pass this along. I want other people to see it's possible for them too. If you're a young guy, you know, 18 to 25, I want to urge you guys not to go down that road because I don't want you having a heart attack and dying at 27, 28, 29 years old, or really at any age. You have so many years ahead of you. You don't need to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. So anyways, I'm gonna leave this here. I hope this video reaches some people, because when I saw what happened to Joe Aesthetics this past weekend, it really honestly hit me hard, because he was a channel that I had been watching for a long time. He was competing for a pro card and I was watching his progression for that, and he was such a positive force in the fitness community, and even towards the end he was also urging guys not to get involved in these things. It catches up to you. We're not scientists, we're not chemists, we don't know what we're doing. We're just dudes that lift weights. Just because we watch a channel of another guy who says take it this way and you'll be fine, you don't know that, and this guy probably doesn't either. Anyways, guys, I gotta leave this here. But that's the gist of it. This channel is gonna be more than just weight loss. This channel is gonna be trying to get people on the right path. The path I wish I started on, but you can't turn back. I can't get my 20s back, but I'm gonna have the best 30s. And I'm gonna have them helping you guys out. I'm leaving this here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. Peace.